solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo, solo. It's like S-S-O-L-O, S-S-O-L-O, S-S-O-L-O. I'm living my life, ain't got stress no more. I'm putting on my
WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All righty, so good morning to everyone. We are back with you for another Activated Mornings program here on WEFM. In studio, you have Dianna, Cain, and myself, Roleza Samuel. And as usual, at this time, we get commentary from Mr. Philbert Peejohn, who is already on the line. So good morning to you, Philbert Peejohn.
Good morning, ladies, and hope you're having a good day so far.
So far.
Now, I normally pose a question, and the question is, should students be rewarded with money for passing exams?
Oh, today of all days, Peejohn?
Yes. No, because later this morning, Friday, February 20th, 2025, the Ministry of Education will host a presentation ceremony at the Villa campus of the St. Vincent and Grenadines Community College. At this function, students who sat the 2024 examinations for their CSEC, CAPE, and associate degrees will each be presented with $500 as an award for their commendable performance. Now, to be eligible for the award, CSEC students must have gained 5 passes, grade 1 to 3, including mathematics and English A. The CAPE students must have gained passes grade 1 to 5 in at least two unit subjects, as well as in the single unit communication studies or Caribbean studies in 2 consecutive years. Students in the various associate degree programs must have gained at least a B average, while those engaged in teacher education programs require a grade point average or GPA of at least 2.75. Now, according to the Ministry of Education, the total number of eligible recipients is 701. This comprises 356 CSEC students, 170 CAPE, and 175 associate degrees. It means, therefore, that the Ministry or the Ministry of Finance has to shell out $350,500. Perhaps it should have been more, as this amount reflects the generally mediocre performance across the board. The question is, should government be paying out this kind of money to students for passing exams? The answer depends on the perspective you take, and there are some arguments that are found in the literature for and against, and I want to share them quickly. Once it could act as a motivation, these kinds of financial incentives can encourage students to study harder and perform better. Real-world preparation in adulthood, hard work is often rewarded financially, so this approach reflects real-life incentives. It encourages responsibility. Earning money through success can teach students about financial responsibility. 4, it supports low-income students. Some students might need extra financial support, and this could help them. And 5th, it's an investment in the future. Funds earned in this way can be applied to future learning. But then there are the cons. It promotes extrinsic motivation rather than intrinsic motivations. Students may focus only on money rather than the love of learning, which can reduce long-term motivation. It creates inequality. Not all students have the same resources or abilities. Rewarding only those who pass could discourage struggling students. It has a short-term effect. Once the financial reward is removed, students might lose motivation to study. It also could create pressure and stress. Some students may feel excessive pressure, leading to anxiety rather than positive motivation. And then there's my favorite, the questionable use of funds. Some students may use the money in ways and on items that are not necessarily consistent with and considered appropriate. For instance, buying credits for the phones. It has been suggested in some quarters that a more balanced approach to rewarding students be considered. Perhaps we should think about rewarding effort and improvement rather than just high grades. The authorities could also consider a refund of examination fees depending on the results. So for each subject you pass, you get a refund for that. Now, what do you think? No, I have no opinion one way or the other. And I will leave this one to you and your listeners. In the meantime, I wish to take the opportunity to congratulate the CSEC, CAPE, and CAPE students and the new holders of associate degrees who will receive their awards today, the massive $500. All the best, and that's my rant for the day.
All right, Peejohn, before you go, give me the number of students for CSEC, please, again. How many are being rewarded today?
For CSEC, it's 356.
356. All right, cool. All right. So Dianna and I will pick it up after.
Okay.
All right. Thanks very much, and have a great weekend. Listen to you on Sunday, and join us again on Monday. All right. And that was today's commentary with Mr. Peejohn, who posed the question, should children or should students be rewarded with money for passing their exams? All right, so Dianna and I will pick that up very shortly, but just officially say good morning again to everybody. It looks a little bit rainy on the outside. I'm not sure if it's actually raining, but it looks a little bit bleak on the outside, but that doesn't mean you won't have sunshine in your hearts, all right? We're making today a good one. I don't know how I am going to make today a good one, but we're making today a good one, all right? So we up and we getting going, and we're bringing the energy, all right? We're bringing the energy this morning. So Dianna, good morning to you.
Good morning, Roleza. Morning, everyone. Morning, Mrs. Richardson, who sends her good morning.
Greetings to Mr. Richardson.
He don't get his greetings, man. Right. Once she is okay, he will be okay.
Well, point. Happy wife, happy life. All right, man. Happy wife, happy life. That's such a disadvantage to men, though. But anyways, we ain't got to into that today.
So it's a bit cold in and out. As Roleza said, it's a little bit hazy outside, so I'm just feeling like going back in my bed. But between 6 and 10, we will be here vibing, right? Nobody will be in the bed. Not me, not you. We will be vibing. All right.
All right. So let's get into what Peejohn mentioned in his commentary. And Dianna, you first.
Hey, to answer the question, should students be rewarded with money for passing exams? I don't have a problem with it once you can find the funds in the appropriate place to give them. Once you have it and you can give it to them, then by all means, I would say give it to them. On the issue of them using it, well, one of the cons is that they may use it. The use of funds is a bit questionable for me. It's up to the individual to decide what they want to do with the money. If you give them the money, it's up to them to decide what they want to do with the money. Hopefully they have guidance. If they're still children, they have enough proper parental guidance that they may use it in a way that is how to put it?
To good use.
Yeah, sort of like that. Hopefully they do, and if not, then it is what it is.
All right. All righty. So I know that for me, initially when this started, I was like giving them money. Maybe it's because a little bit of jealousy came in there because no such thing was ever in place in my time, right? But anyways, get it off the petty part, right? I did found it interesting that students were given money for passing their subjects, right? But as Peejohn correctly said, when we go through the school system, there's always some sort of reward that we're hoping to gain. It's just that in this case, it's monetary, it's direct cash in hand. But all the time when we're growing up, we're hearing parents saying, if you study your books, you get a good job and you get to do this and you get to do that. All right. So there's always going to be some sort of reward. Rewards also come in the form of monetary, yes, but indirectly through the forms of scholarships. Because if you do exceptionally well, you can qualify to get a scholarship. So really and truly, the goal of schooling is to get some sort of reward, right? Whether or not we look at it as just intrinsic learning in terms of what stays with us for lifelong. And I don't know how many persons actually, every single thing my mother's always say, you're learning for life. You know, you're not supposed to learn to forget. But I don't know how much things my mother wants for my little brain to retain. But that is another thing, you know, the really and truly, some persons, the discussion is are we learning for a lifetime, you know? So, and it's not, shouldn't always be about money. But the real truth about it is that there are many persons, they study hard, they work hard, and they go into professions because of the monetary reward, right? So they're choosing professions based on what the payout is going to be on a monthly basis, right? So we can't run away from that. What it is that I am generally a little bit concerned with is the fact of the timing of this payment, right? This is not payment coming at the end of August. It's not payment coming at the beginning of the school term. So more than likely, the money is going to be put to use for schooling purposes, which for me is what it really should be about, right? There are some children whose parents may not have even known that this money is going to be given out and would go and, you know, still request money from parents to go to school for whatever, and they're going to bad spend the money. Now, is it wrong for them to bad spend the money given that they have earned it? Maybe the answers are also no, right? But my whole thing is that I would have preferred if they're being rewarded that the money was going to go directly towards their schooling. But of course, to each their own, they earned it, they could do what they want, right? My biggest thing though, and this is why I asked Peejohn about the number of CSEC passes. So I'm not so much focused on CAPE, etc. But 356 persons are going to be receiving money today. And my big problem is how many graduates do we have on an annual basis nationally? That it's only 356 persons who are qualifying to get this amount of this $500 payment. What is this actually saying about our education system? What is this saying about the students who are leaving secondary schools and the number of passes that they're receiving? If some schools, okay, so let's say, I'm sure that it's more than 1,000 students graduate from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? I'm quite sure it's more than 1,000, right? But you're only going to have 356 at the CSEC level who are going to be rewarded today. To me, that is the bigger thing that we should focus on in terms of what is actually happening with our schooling system. And that's me on that topic for today.
Someone says, as you give your children money, you give them trip. I have no problem. This person says their son is getting his money today. Big up your son.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, I guess, because this parent has already had the conversation with their child, and that child could probably just do what they want with the money. So that is fine, right? All right. So we have somebody else calling. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Miss Samuel?
Morning.
Morning there. I like your analysis.
Thank you.
Exactly. Less than 50% of the person who sat the exam is getting money. No, this money was given, not as a reward at the beginning. What happened at the beginning? They came down, the OECS came down, whatever board, education board or whatever, came down and said, enough children are not passing these exams. We should have a score of over 50 or 60% with 5 subjects and the grades, inclusive maths and English. Okay? The Prime Minister decided to give them that. That was the reason. so that he could get quality education. Quality education, more children passing. But it never worked out. Because every year the percentage is always 30-something%. Sometimes 1,700 children go for this exam, and only 30% of them is passing. We have to look at that. Your analysis is correct. Tell Peejohn that. I don't think Peejohn knows the history of this money, when it started and why it started. It was to give us quality education. Have a blessed weekend.
All right, to you as well. All righty. So we are going to have to head on out of this segment at this time, as it is 7:35, and we have to bring to you today's traffic talk.
WEFM.